Alright guys, it's Brummy Joe here, back again, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the transfers that happened over the summer and seeing what their ratings might be in FIFA 18. Let's get into the video. The first player I'm going to start with is one that was been on loan since January, I believe. That's Gardner. Zola signed Gardner in an attempt to win the fans over, and it did work in a way until we kept on losing games. Anyhow, we've still got Gardner. Harry Redknapp decided to sign him permanently at the end of his loan deal. Now, I'll be honest, I don't rate him that much. I love him for what he did for us back in the day, back in 2011, but he doesn't seem the same player. He may require a bit more time to get back to the form that he's used to, but for me, from what I've seen, he deserves a downgrade. Now that downgrade is from a gold to a silver. He's gone from 76 to a 73 centre mid for me. I think he still could do a job for us this season, but he definitely needs to improve. He's already bagged a goal, which is fair enough, but overall his performances haven't been great. So he's got to fight for his place back in the squad. We've missed out on Aqua and other defensive midfielders, so he might have a role to play still, I believe. If he can improve, he could be vital for us because we are missing that kind of player. That was probably the one area we didn't strengthen. So I'm giving him a 73 rating. Yeah, I think overall, he's just a player that's not as good as he used to be, and that's fair enough. Next up, we've got one of the 3 players we signed from Brentford in a 24-hour period. This guy is Maxine Colin. He's a right back, and we brought him in as a replacement for Jenkinson, who we also brought in, but he dislocated his shoulder in about 30 minutes of the first game, just showing our luck. However, we did bring in Maxine Colin, and after looking at the reviews from the Brentford fans, they see him as one of their best players. He was given a 71 rating last year, and I think this year he's going to be put up to a 72. I've increased his passing slightly, his dribbling slightly, and I've put 3 defending on him. I think he's going to be a good right back for us. It gives us some good options there. I'm hoping he can do quite well for us. For me, it's good that we've got 3 players that's come from Brentford because they all know each other. They'll settle in quicker for me. The next player we've got is Isaac Vassell. Now this lad come from Truro. He was working on a building site and then Luton Town gave him a contract. Now when we were first linked with this guy, I didn't know a lot about him. He's had 1 season in League 2 and he's done fairly well. Last season in League 2, we got 14 goals and 2 assists. And from what I've seen from him so far, I can see him doing very well, even though he stepped up 2 divisions into the Championship. His best performance so far for me came against Premier League opposition in Bournemouth at home. And if he hadn't have gone off injured, he pulled his hamstring, he had to go off at half time, I think he definitely would have scored. He was very unlucky not to score against Bournemouth. Only a Tyrone Mings clearance, backheel clearance off the line, prevented that. He then continued to headbutt the post. But yeah, I think this guy deserves a massive, massive upgrade. And I hope I'm not being too biased because he was a 56 rated in FIFA 17. I feel like in FIFA 18 he's going to be a 69 overall. Now that's the way I've got that rating is from looking at other strikers. So if I look at Clayton Donaldson and their overall threat level as a striker, Clayton Donaldson's about a 70 odd rated. So I thought Isaac Vassell coming up. For us, he is someone who's going to be playing games. FIFA won't up his rating to this until he starts scoring a lot of goals and getting noticed more. But from what I've seen so far, he definitely deserves better. So I've put him up to a 69 overall. He's got 93 pace because he's one of the fastest players I've seen down at the Blues. Genuinely, he's rapid. You ping a ball over to him, he's so fast. He's so composed as well, which I really like. I think this guy could be the real deal eventually. He's got everything you need, and he's going to give Che Adams a lot of competition up front, which I'm happy with. As another pacey option as well. It's great to see, and I'm very excited to see him when he comes back from injury. Now next up, we've got a player who we signed very, very late on transfer deadline day, and I'll be honest, I've never heard of him before. He's one of the young Everton lads, and some Everton fans are saying he's from the same batch as like Calvert-Lewin. He's very close to getting into the Everton team, you know, onto the sub bench. He's one of these that's coming up through the ranks. So Liam Walsh looks like a good player, a good centre mid who's eager for the ball, plays quite well. But I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about him. I'm giving him this rating based on what I've heard from Everton fans. I'm giving him a 68 in centre mid. I feel like he's going to be knocking on the door to getting that first team, and I think he probably deserves an upgrade. I'll be honest, this is one I don't know too much about. So if you do know Walsh, what do you reckon his rating should be? Let me know in the comments. The next player we've got is another one that I don't know a lot about. He was the captain for Blackburn last season, and his name is Jason Lowe. yeah, I don't know a lot about this guy, and it was a bit of a surprise for me. I didn't think he'd sign. I think Harry was after better players, but apparently he's a good player, and I won't judge him until I've seen him play. But unfortunately, I've not actually seen this guy play. So he was a 66 in FIFA 17, and I've opted into a 69, which I think is fair. Again, this is one I don't know too much about, but I'm having faith that Harry signed him because he's a good player. I don't think he's going to sign a player that's below a rating of Gleeson, for example, who's a 60 out of 69. So that's why I've given him 69 overall, because he's quite established. It's not like he's got much room for growth as well. So I think a 69 is fair. If there are any Blackburn fans watching the video, let me know what you think his rating should be in FIFA 18. Did you rate him? Now, the next player we've got here is Jeremy Boga. Now, he looks an exciting player, on loan from Chelsea. I'm excited to see this guy. In FIFA 17, he was upgraded to a 72 while on loan at Granada, and I am very excited to see him next season. He's an exciting player, a good dribbler, and he actually started for Chelsea against Burnley. So if you can get into the Chelsea squad, you've got to be a decent player. He played well in pre-season also against Arsenal. So I'm very excited. He's the exact type of player we need at this club as well. I've given him a 74 overall, so just almost a goal, but not quite. Yeah, after looking at a few of his videos and that, I think his pace should be a little bit higher. 82 pace, a bit of an improvement in dribbling as well, bit better shooting, all round an improved player. He's going to be a very exciting player for Blues and something that we desperately needed. So thank you, Harry Redknapp, for sealing this loan. The good thing about me for Boga is he's already gone out on loan to a big club, so it's not like he's been sitting in the reserves or on the bench for Chelsea. He's been out playing football, so he's going to be coming to Birmingham City ready to go again. And although he'll have to change from Spanish football to English football, I think he'll be able to do that. This guy had a great season last year. I believe he got 12 goals for Blackburn in a side that were eventually, unfortunately, relegated. So this is the second player out of the Blackburn team last year that we've now got. A lot of clubs were after this guy. A lot of clubs. Apparently about 7 championship clubs were after him. Some Southampton fans were saying that they should have kept him as well, just to be on the bench and stuff. But I disagree. I think he needs to be playing football to improve. I've given Gallagher a +7 upgrade. Now, I think 72 is fair for Gallagher. It's the same rating as Djukovic, maybe one more than Djukovic, and I think he's a better player overall already. He's better with his feet. He's got a good shot on him, so I've boosted his shooting to 73. I've boosted his pace to 66, but now that I think about it, I think he's even faster than that. I think he could push 69, 70 pace, because even though he's a tall lad, he's very quick. I just feel like this guy is going to be the real deal for us. Once we get settled in, we're gelled, we're getting balls in from Boga and Jota right to Gallagher. I think he's going to get a good amount of goals this season, at least 15. So yeah, I think 72 is fair for him. Next up, we've got the second Brentford player, Harley Dean. Now, Harry Redknapp was after a centre-back for the entirety of the transfer window, it seems. He tried to get Aidan Flint, couldn't quite work it out, got Harley Dean in and Mark Roberts. I think he did want a third centre-back, but I think we've got Sebastian Basong on trial, and I feel like he's going to sign for us. Harley Dean is spoken highly of by the Brentford fans, and they are also sad to see him go. For me, I'm happy with this, because if we're going to be playing 3 at the back, we need centre-backs in, and we need quality centre-backs, and he will fit right in. I believe he's the only left-footed centre-back we've got as well, so that's going to be decent for the back 3. It's going to be something that we need. I've improved his defending to 72 after a strong season with Brentford, and increased his stats all round as well a little bit. I'm excited to see this guy play, and I'm looking forward to Norwich when I think he's going to get his first start of the season. He's a much needed improvement, and I think I'm going to give him a 71 overall for FIFA 18. I feel like that's fair. Next up, we've got Cole Jenkinson, and unfortunately Cole Jenkinson was injured in his very first game for Blues, half an hour in. That's why we signed Maxine Colin. Now, Cole Jenkinson was injured for most of last season. I think he didn't play much, and that's why I've given him the same rating. I've given him 73 overall. I thought it would be unfair to drop him. I think he's still a good player, and I don't think he's going to decrease in ability, but he just hasn't had any room for improvement. I think he needs game time, so I think 73 is still strong for us as a right back, and hopefully he can play well when he gets back fit and ready, unless Maxine Colin is having a really good game, so we'll have to see about that. Next up, we got David Stockdale. Now, this guy helped Brighton get promoted. He kept a massive amount of clean sheets, and he got into the championship team of the season. So when we signed this guy, I was quite surprised, because I didn't think we were going to get someone as good as him. I think this season so far, he's been okay. He's been fairly He's been fairly decent for us. He hasn't made many mistakes, and I think he's got to grow into the team still. And I think when these big chances come, he's going to make big saves. He's one of these players that makes big saves, but it's over the course of the season. His distribution is quite good, I think, as well. So I've given him an increased handling, increased kicking, increased reflexes, and increased diving. So for me, he's got all-round improvements for me. I think he's going to be knocking on the door of a gold card, but 74 is fair for me. If he was playing in the Premier League, starting, maybe he'd get more. Next up, we got Mark Roberts, and he was only a 66 in FIFA 17, but he was very highly rated by Barnsley and Harry Redknapp, and we forked out £3.5 million for his services, plus add-ons, I believe. I've given Roberts a 71 overall. I think that's fair. I don't think he's as good as Morrison yet, but then again, he might have to gel into the team still, so give him the benefit of the doubt. But for now, he's a 71 for me. Now, that's a +5 improvement, which I think is fair. I think his defending goes up to 72. He looks good on the ball. He's composed, but he doesn't look like the finished article yet. Like, he's looked nervous in a couple of games. He's not been amazing, right? But I think he will get better throughout the course of the season. Next up, we've got Sheikh Ndoye, and when we signed him, I looked at his FIFA card, as you do, and it's not always accurate. He had a 77 overall, and he looked the bee's knees, right? He looked like the exact type of player we need in the midfield, but he hasn't really done that for me. Like, this season, he hasn't looked amazing, and I think this is still quite generous. I'm giving him a 75 overall, so just hanging on to his gold card, but I don't think his passing is as good as it looks like. His dribbling, his composure overall, and his physicality. So I'm going to give him an overall -2. But I still think that, you know, come October time, he'll have settled in and he'll be the player, the confident player that he was in the French division, the Ligue 1. You know, not all hope is lost with Ndoye, but he needs to step up because we haven't got the likes of Aqua or Badu or Onazi. He needs to fill those boots. He's a tall, powerful centre defensive mid, and it's exactly the type of player I like to have in my team. Next up, we've got Bramall, and for some reason he didn't have a FIFA card in FIFA 17. I think it's because he's a younger player, but from what I've seen from him so far, he does look good. You know what, I'm looking at this and I've given him 60 defending, and I think that might be a bit generous because he's a wing back, right? And he's not great at defending. Like, he's not good at getting back. His positioning isn't great. He's not sure who to mark from what I've seen from him this season. But attacking wise, he looks really good. He's really, really fast. He's a good dribbler of the ball. He can hit a ball as well. He can strike them. I think he's going to do really well attacking wise. But he needs to improve his defending for me. But I think that's going to happen over the course of the season. So give him time, he will get that. But for me, he's a 66 at the minute. I think that's a fair shout. Next up, we've got the signing that broke our transfer record. We signed Jota from Brentford for £6.5 million roughly, and he's going to be the most exciting transfer. He's broken our transfer record. We've never spent that much money on a player before. I think it was Nikola Zigic that was our transfer record from about 2010, and that was £6 million from Valencia. But we've gone £6.5 million for Jota, and I think that was a really good deal. I think he had a year left on his contract, and they needed to sell him for financial reasons, because if they waited a season, they would have sold him for nothing. And also, they couldn't give him a new contract because it would have broken their wage structure. So fair enough, he's come to Blues, and he's a very exciting player. This season, I've been shouting out for a creative player. I've been looking at the team. We look boring. I'm like, there's no way we can connect midfield to attack. This guy is the answer. Play him at cam, play him on the wing, play him where you want up front, and it's like he's a magician, and I'm very excited to see this guy play. He's spoken of very, very highly from a lot of Championship fans that have seen him play, and a good thing is he tore apart Aston Villa last season. So if he could do the same again this season, it'll be worth every single penny. I'm very, very excited to see Jota play against Norwich, and I can't wait for the vlog. So look out for it. I've pushed Jota into gold card territory, so he's a 75 overall. I've boosted his pace and his shooting a little bit after looking at a few of his highlights. This guy has contributed to more goals this year than any other person in the Championship. From January 2017 to now, he's contributed to 20 goals. That's 12 goals and 8 assists. And he's going to be a very welcome addition to that Blues side. But that's it for my expectations for the FIFA 18 player ratings. What do you think? Am I wrong? I probably am. Let me know in the comments what you think their rating should be. I hope I haven't been too biased. If I have, let me know. What do you think the rating should be? And we'll see who's right come FIFA 18, which is out very soon. I'm going to be doing some series, so keep an eye out for them. I'm going to be uploading a schedule so you guys know exactly when I'm going to be uploading videos and exactly when I'm going to be streaming. So that's it for now. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, and feel free to subscribe if you are new. Social media links are in the description, and I will see you next time.